Aloha, my name is Deepa. Welcome to Let's Evolve Together, and this is the Leo birthday reading. So, happy birthday, Leo. Welcome here. Welcome back if you are one of my subscribers, and if you're new here, welcome and thanks for being here with me. Okay, so this is pretty exciting, Leo. You have an energetically jam packed month, which I'm pretty sure you're already feeling and have known about. But besides us being right now in the Lionsgate portal pretty much through the 12th, we have a new moon in Leo coming up next week. And we've got another full moon coming up at the end of the month. As you know, we already had a full moon um, last week, and that one was in Aquarius. So the full moon at the end of the month will be in Pisces. So two full moons in one month, to me, it just seems pretty emotional. Also, we've got Venus in retrograde, which can also be deep and emotional and sometimes feel like it's gutting you. And we also have Mercury going into retrograde at the end of August. So it's a lot. I feel like for everyone, not just Leos, but maybe you guys are getting hit particularly hard. This could feel like a lot is shifting and you're not quite sure where to ground down yet. And so it feels like in areas where you're used to shining or in areas where you're used to being more yourself, it feels like either those are changing or being questioned, or the arena isn't the same as it used to be. So there's definitely something unsure that was like more sure footed before. So I'd like to see how this shows up in the cards for you. And I did open up your Akashic records so that we could see what images and visions might be coming through for you for this month. Okay, so let's let's see. I'm gonna get started here and take my time and see if we can get as many messages to you as possible with as much clarity and yeah, let's just see if we can get everything you need today. Thanks for being here. Okay, so first we're going to do an angel card. I want to see with all this shifting energy, this one popped right out. Okay, let's get another one too. I'll read that in a second. Okay, so for Leo's birthday, what angel is protecting you and guiding you at this time? For Leo birthdays, what angel is guiding you and protecting you at this time? Ruler of virtues. This is a number 26, which is in 8. Okay, I'm going to put my glasses on. Okay. Create out of nothing, miracles, solutions, reverse hopeless situations, and there's intervention. When you feel all hope is lost, I can help you successfully navigate what may seem like an impossible situation. So we've got this jasper for the crystal or the stone, fall for the season, and there is a way out. So maybe some solutions will be coming for you in the fall, or maybe more of that ground that you were hoping for, where you feel like you can ground in and get some roots. It feels like you're climbing a slippery, steep slope. Originally, when I opened your Akashic records, it looked like you were looking down at your feet, trying to pull your feet out of a lot of mud. So it also, besides it being muddy looking, it actually, I heard the word sticky several times. So it feels like you got yourself into a sticky situation, or maybe it's a steep, like you're having to navigate something that feels quite treacherous or tricky. And this angel is here to help you. So Angel Sidriel, ruler of virtues. So that is the angel guiding you, protecting you at this time, helping you to find new solutions and miracles out of what feels hopeless. So just when you feel like all hope is lost, a solution or a doorway appears. The first one that jumped out was Archangel Ambriel. And so you've got a feminine and a masculine here. This one in particular representing Pisces, Mercury, Gemini, let's see, Ambriel, patron of psychics and students. This is for clarity, psychic protection, inspire curiosity, intellectual communication, that aha moment. Okay, so Mercury is going to be retrograde at the end of the month. So this could be why you're seeing a way out in the fall, because Mercury retrograde might cloud clarity, and it often does. It often has a way of placing a sort of veil over communication. And this card says communication, an aha moment. So stay positive. Sodalite is the crystal, and this says May. It almost feels to me like you'll be getting the clarity you need through communication probably in October. I know that sounds really far away. There's quite a bit of energy astrologically that needs to be ironed out through the rest of August and through September with the Mercury retrograde. And it does feel quite like maybe it was that visual where you were in the mud and like picking up your feet, kind of pulling your feet up out of the mud, and you were in this sticky situation that you had to try to figure out how to navigate. Okay, like how do I clean this up and how do I move forward? So this is a 7. So this is a lot to do with self-assessment. And here she is in what looks like a library. So you're studying. I don't know if this may have to do with going to school in the fall or starting a new program of any type, whether that's college or trade school or anything like that. But it looks like I clear mental fog and doubt. So it just feels like you need clarity. The tricky thing is you may have to wait to get it. And so it's almost like keeping your spirits up as you traverse this territory. That's kind of like what I'm getting from this. So actually, let's look at Sacred Traveler for you, because this kind of gives us more specifics as far as what you might be experiencing. And of course, all Leos won't be going through the same thing. And so please only take the messages that resonate deeply with you today and leave the rest for other watchers and viewers. And I'll try to offer some different ways, different perspectives on reading the cards so that I can try to hit a number of different scenarios with what might be happening for Leos at this time. But it just feels, and this is interesting because at the beginning of the summer, this is what I was feeling. I was feeling it's not going to be your typical type of summer where you're just loud and proud, out and about. And this is largely because of a lot of astrological things that have been going on, mainly Venus in retrograde in Leo, and a lot to do too with other retrogrades that are going on, including Chiron. So there's definitely been a lot focused around wounding, healing, and maybe even opening old wounds to see what is left in there that hasn't been integrated for you and or looked at or felt completely. So it's just been more of a quiet summer than normal. And I'm getting that same energy for you in your birthday month. It feels like where you would normally be more expressive. Not that you're not out celebrating or being yourself and having your best life or anything like that. It's just more quiet than you're used to. And I do think that could be making you feel a little like disorientated. So let's see what card comes up here for Leos. Let me have a strong card. Journey by Moonlight, believe in magic. Wow, you're getting a lot of miracle magic energy. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So Journey by Moonlight pretty much supports what I just said, which is I don't feel like you have the clarity you need, which means you need to operate in the dark, see in the dark, see beyond, see without your physical eyes, and use your intuition and your inner knowing and your higher self to guide you at this time. So you are also going through a lot of I just need to trust and walking into the mystery of it all and allowing the universe to support you and believing that, things will work out and that you'll be okay and everything will get clear when it's time. So I feel like with this kind of energy, your hopes are high. I don't feel like this is a very strong, like mental, heavy energy or anything like that. I just feel like you're kind of like, I need to navigate, and I need to see without my eyes, which I'm not used to. And I need to trust on a deeper level than I'm used to as well. So, let's see what this is about. What is this about, Spirit, for Leos? It feels like they're in the dark a little bit. There is a full moon here. So it's almost like your emotions or your feelings. It's your feeling. Your feelings have the answers you need. So make sure you're going within, acknowledging your feelings about certain situations to help you see opportunity. And watch out for getting stuck in the mind. And I feel like Leos would be good at that, or they're good at allowing their heart to lead the way. I guess maybe it's like the heart doesn't feel as strong as it used to, or as you're used to. Angel of Strength, yes, that's interesting. Here you are, a 5. What is this about, Spirit? Why do Leos need to be strong at this time? And why are they in the dark? And why is there this hopelessness or intervention? What's going on here for Leos? Door to Spirit. Definitely something's got you thinking. You're meditating, you're thinking, you're processing on something. And you've got to go inside and use your inner strength to guide you. Something with community. So, this could also be like a group of friends. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to negotiate things between friends, or how to plan something, or maybe it's a work situation. It almost feels like, how do I get us all to work together? How do I get us all on the same page? It feels like, yeah, you've got your head down and you're trying to figure something out. And I feel like Spirit and your higher self are very much here for you. Like, you've got a lot of strong angel energy around you, and I'm hearing you've got what it takes to make this work. But it does feel like it's taking a lot of your energy and focus right now, and you're not as externally involved as you're used to being, because you're thinking a lot and processing a lot, trying to get something to work behind the scenes. But I feel like Spirit is here for you. So the message I'm getting here is, set your clear intentions for how you want the day to go. Set your clear intentions for how you want communications to go in this community, whatever's happening here with a group of people. And one thing I do a lot of the time is, if I'm ever having a struggle or a challenge of communication between me and another person, is I'll take a moment, take a breath to ask my higher self to communicate with their higher self, and to come to an agreement that works for everyone, an understanding and a harmony. It's much like the Temperance card in the tarot, where you've got one cup blending in with another, and there's this infinity energy of moving, this flow of moving back and forth in the figure 8 pattern. You're creating union by integrating different ideas, different concepts, and seeing it from everyone's angle, so that you get the full picture and you really know what you're working with. So maybe that's why you're distracted. This isn't just about you. You're considering other people involved, and you need to consider their feelings, their thoughts in their lives, and their involvement in this. And so you're negotiating with yourself and with Spirit and with them as well, and trying to come to some sort of clarity. And this could also be school, a community. There's a community of people at schools. So this could be a school environment, which came up here. I'm just wondering if there's something you can do in the meantime. This might be something that takes time to like almost like you're on a journey together. And so every step of the way, you'll be trying to create this sort of temperance energy. So this might not be just one aspect of how you're working together and you just need to solve this one thing and then move on. This could be like, okay, we're working together this year. We will constantly need to check in with each other and ask each other how everything is going and feeling. And we need to be able to be flexible, adaptable, and open to listening to each other's needs. And that goes for everyone here. So you may feel like you get like a little clarity and aha moment as far as working together, maybe getting money you need, anything like that in October or after Mercury retrograde, when things become more clear and the fine print becomes more big, obvious, not so fine. So yeah, there's always a warning with Mercury retrograde to not sign anything if you can. If you can avoid it, don't sign anything. Usually there's something in the contract you weren't aware of, or maybe someone's not telling you the whole truth, or something's not clear and you're not getting the whole picture. So if you do have to sign something, make sure you meticulously go through whatever that is you're signing, if it's a contract, and get really clear on all the details. And make sure everyone is very clear and has the opportunity to ask the questions they need to ask. So I'm just going to take these away and get some other cards out for you to see if we can get more information here. So first, let's go to the archetypes. I just want to see what archetype is Leo embodying or needing to embody at this time with what is coming up for Leo. What is coming up? The gem. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to check this out in the book. It's like, that's that, excuse me. It's that same moon shape right there in the center of the card. It's like there is a light. You just have to move toward that light to help illuminate your way. See all this chaos in black and white. It kind of all looks the same. It's definitely not clear. But if you focus on, I don't know, maybe that's the heart, it will guide you. But let's see what the gem says. And I always want these to be, let's see, places, tools. 177 is the number. The diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you are among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth amid pressure and darkness. And here's that darkness. So maybe this is, even if you could look at this as being on purpose to help you pull out or see that gem within. Precious stone, okay, I said that. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface where there is no definitive map, which is being guided by the moonlight here. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. In mythology, the diamond is often linked to the daimon, or inner light, that leads us toward our true self, our purpose, our destiny. The moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. Don't covet the sparkling diamond of another. The gem is like a fingerprint, never to be repeated again. Find yours. So when in the light, it's unique, shining, generative, irreplaceable. But in shadow, there's envy, greed, and grasping. That's really beautiful. So maybe you're seeking out what's valuable to you. And maybe this does have to do with community. But maybe you're seeking out a way that you can offer and share your gifts with the world. And where that used to be more fun and more clear and more obvious to you, maybe right now it's not. So or maybe somehow it's been there's been obstacles. So you're having to navigate by the moonlight and trust a lot more. But it's there. It's definitely there. Like I feel like spirit is like, we want you to find it within. So it's almost like the blinders have been put down around you. All these shades have been dropped, and all of a sudden you're in this blackout room. And it's on purpose so that you can see the true gem within and sort of harvest that for yourself and allow that to be exposed. And if it wasn't completely dark around you, it would be harder to see. So things get a little mucky externally when spirit wants us to go within and find the truth within ourselves. In fact, that is a lot of times our impetus for going within, is if things get confusing externally, we go within to find the answers. We get quiet. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here is it's feels deep. It feels like a deep spiritual experience that you're having. And I really do feel like there is a lot with Venus retrograde here. Of course, with like how you see yourself or how you value yourself as well. So maybe you're even questioning what you do for a profession where it used to bring you joy, but maybe it's not anymore. So maybe you're thinking of, how do I use these gifts of mine in new ways? And how can I get creative with that? So I think you're finding yourself in a new way. That's kind of what's coming through. You're trying to find yourself. As you're not yet the phoenix. Okay, I feel like you're navigating the ashes still of change and regeneration and trying to figure out what's next for yourself. So and interesting that we got patron of psychics and students. Maybe you're finding that you are getting interested in doing readings for people, or energy work, or healing work, or past life work. So maybe you're opening a whole new book that you never thought you would entertain, and this is a new way of expressing your gifts, and you're not so sure about it, and so you're seeking out schools, and like maybe you're looking for your soul tribe, that kind of energy, because the community card came up. So you're doing a lot of research, especially with all this strong Virgo energy, because we have Mercury in Virgo as well as Mars. So a lot of us have been processing a lot. We've been using our brains a lot. Some of us too much. And that's why there was that warning to not get lost in the mind. It's super easy right now, especially with the fall. There seems to be a lot of logistics and a lot of details, appointments and paperwork and things like that. Day-to-day details, balancing the checkbook and things like this. So take your time, take time out for yourself to make sure you're getting grounded, and notice if your energy is too far into the head, especially if you start getting overly emotional, and try to ground and clear your energy and get back into the heart space, which is where you're most happy and comfortable. But let's see how this is showing up in the tarot. Okay, Spirit. Let's see. What does the universe want from Leos at this time? King of Pentacles in reverse. To me, this is the universe is wanting you to reflect on your value, maybe even your finances, your ability to find stability financially and security, and what that means to you. What is financial stability to you? Upright, this is a person, whether male or female, in their power. They have financial security. They're not even thinking about their finances. It's here supporting them on his lap. He's comfortable. He's in a library. He's got his dog there, and they're not worried about anything. In fact, they're observing the world more than anything else. There's not a whole lot of grasping going on. There's not a whole lot of anxiety or anything like that. He's just enjoying his life. So yeah, I feel like the universe is wanting you to get clear on how you would like to enjoy your life. Get clear on how you want to support yourself. And what does that mean to you? Whether that's through doing your passionate work with the world, or whatever that may be for you. So let's see more on this. What is this King of Pentacles in reverse about, Spirit? What is this King of Pentacles in reverse about? The Devil. So we got some shadow energy. The High Priestess in reverse. And the Four of Wands. So here's that security energy coming up again. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. And there's some Eight of Swords energy right there. So, to me, the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck with the Devil is often the shadow side of ourselves. That often depicts the shadow side. This would be our patterns that aren't necessarily good for us, but just behaviors we've taken on over time to help ourselves feel safe, secure, loved, all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily good for us, though. It was almost like the easy way to get things to go your way. Whatever that is for you, it's up, and it's being challenged. You're being challenged by it. So you're being called inside to listen to your intuition. We've got the High Priestess in reverse, which means there's either some resistance to opening up to your higher self and the messages from your higher self and guides, or you're having trouble hearing it. And it's because things have gotten really loud externally. Like I said, there was a muckiness or a stickiness. And it's inhibiting you from being secure and stable with the Four of Wands and living your best life and being your best self. So, like I said, there's a lot of energy up in the head. That would be the Eight of Swords. This is usually self-inflicted with this card. And it's almost like there's, this darker energy here that's keeping you from your own light. So it feels to me like with this Venus retrograde and even your ability to go deeper with a Mercury retrograde coming up, you're going to have a lot of time for self-reflection and getting clear on what feels good for you and how to live your life and what's important to you, including what people you allow in or not. And it feels like you're trying to work things out with these stronger patterns or wounds. And because they're loud and strong, it's harder to hear what's right for you at this time, which I feel like is normal. And if you did want to work on this, my recommendation, only because I've done it before, would be to work with a therapist and start doing some deep shadow work with your wounding. And I have gone through a somatic psychologist who I really appreciate and adored. So the somatic therapy was so much more, my subconscious body was so much more responsive than anything else I've done. And it really helped me to bring in those sides of myself that were unloved, unfelt, unseen up until that point. And so I really started integrating them. And it really changed my life and my perspective and my trajectory and everything. So maybe you're being called to do deeper healing work or shadow work to start to uncover what is it exactly that's keeping me from my stability, my desire and my right to shine and express and celebrate the way I want to. And really diving into that and, how do you create that life? What choices do you make that lead to this type of outcome where you're more stuck in the wounding or in the shadow, and the integration and the balance of the two just is not there. So you it's like you try to take a step forward and you get pulled back into this stuff. So Yeah, this reading is very deep for you guys today, for sure. I feel like Leos are. I mean, you did get the Ace of Pentacles upright. This is an opportunity to grow and evolve tremendously if you use it that way. So you could use this Venus Mercury retrograde period, and actually many planets are going to be retrograde. I think at the end of the month we're going to have 7, which is quite normal at this time of year, but definitely a great time to go in. That energy of going in and reflecting is going to be very supportive, and this is a wonderful time and an opportunity to do some deep inner shadow work or therapy or whatever you choose, and you'll probably grow leaps and bounds as a result because the support is there and the energy is there for it. So yeah, so what I was going to say is the opportunity for you to greatly evolve as a result of doing the integration work with your shadow is massive. So it'll really catapult you ahead into more of this energy, which I think is what you're wanting back. You know, what happened to my spark? What happened to my joy? What happened to my expressive nature? You know, I love being that person. Right now I don't feel like that person, so who am I? You know, it's also about going deeper, like knowing you're not, you know, you're more than this human body, and learning about what that is for you and your truth, and not identifying so much with certain aspects and expressions of life, but really getting to the truth of what you are, who you are, why you're here on a deep soul level, beyond your talents, right? Beyond what you're naturally good at. This is more about your true nature, and you living in alignment with your true nature and your highest self, so that you can unfold and grow and blossom in the way that you meant to see yourself in this lifetime. It is said that we plan our lives before we incarnate, and we do that in the Akashic realm. And we choose the people we're going to interact with and how, the soul contracts that we're going to be having with others, the talents, the jobs, the places to live, everything. And then we start living that out once we're incarnated. And I don't even know where I was going with that, but I like lost it. Let me come back. I think what I was trying to say is there's a plan here. There was a plan. And it's kind of comes back to going within and asking your higher self, what was the plan? What was I actually meant to do here? Beyond what my egoic personality, mind desires and wants. What's the deeper truth? What's the mission? What was the goal? And am I in line with fulfilling that goal? Because we all come here with a certain set of things to fulfill, whatever those are, so that we can grow and evolve spiritually. And of course, at times we get off track. But you know, yeah. So I could go on and on, but I don't want to confuse. It's just, it helps to do a check-in, to connect with your higher self, to get the clarity, so that you can realign. I feel like there's a recalibration or like a realignment that is needing to happen. And I think you're wanting that. I think you're realizing it's gotten sticky and muddy and it feels not great. And so there's water poured on your fire kind of thing. That's kind of how it feels. So, okay, let's clear this. So what's the guidance, Spirit, for this? For Leos, what's the guidance? Knight of Swords. What else? Four of Pentacles. Tower. It appears to me that something needs to be released. Four of Pentacles upright is a very strong holding on and a strong attachment. The Knight of Swords is moving really quickly towards something. It's a very fast moving energy. It's a fast manifestation. It could also be incoming communication toward you. But there's definitely, and this could be even like a skewed understanding of what it means to be financially secure. So who taught you about finances? what was their perspective on financial security? Was it clear? Did they have a clear understanding of abundance and how that manifests in one's life, and what is it, and what's your idea of abundance? But knowing like where you learned what you have come to know it as. How did you learn that? Who did you learn it from? Were they clear about it? Where did they get their understanding about it? I feel like your understanding about money or finances or investment or security, all that kind of stuff, I feel like whatever that model that was demonstrated to you needs to come down. It needs to shift. It needs to change, and it needs to be upgraded for sure. And it needs to be aligned with your values and how you see it should be. That's the guidance here, is that something needs to change drastically, and it feels like it's on a very deep level, and it feels like it has to do with a learned behavior because you have the devil here. So with the high priestess in reverse, it's like actually all these are reversed in this middle row, and I feel like this is your energy in this middle row. It's like you're going within to reflect, to get in a better and truer alignment with your values, and to start listening to your higher self, and to start asking the deeper questions, and to get some guidance on what needs to change and how do you change it, and asking your angels for help to create this change would be incredibly valuable at this time. And your guides are saying, yes, please ask for help. And I ask for help all day long from my guides and angels for everything. And it's amazing how your life will shift once you start communicating that way, with knowing you're not alone, knowing you have help and they're just here. You just can't see them. So let's see what's at the bottom now. Page of Wands in reverse. So, and there's a Four of Wands in reverse. There's definitely something left to be healed here, because you're wanting this new chapter. I could go on and on. There's a lot of reversals. There's definitely, you're wanting this new chapter. You're wanting the world. You're wanting this new beginning, a whole new book for yourself, perhaps. And this new venture into inspiration and creativity. You want your spark back. But this needs integrated and harmonized and balanced and seen and felt and healed and all that kind of stuff in order for you to get to this place. Change needs to happen. So something needs to shift here in your energy, in your life. And you know what that is. I'm sure of it. And it's probably been trying to rattle you out of a sort of slumber for a while now. And you're at the point now where you have to face it. So you're facing something head on. It's not something you're necessarily wanting to do, but you need to do it. And Spirit's here supporting you and guiding you. Remember, we've got 26, which is an 8. This is fast incoming energy, fast movement. You can make a lot of progress at this time for your spiritual growth and evolution. Miracles, create out of nothing, solutions, reversing hopeless situations and intervention. When you feel all hope is lost, I can help you successfully navigate what may seem like an impossible situation. And he says there is a way out, and use Jasper Stone to help you through this time. There is communication. There is finally you're going to have an idea of how to navigate this, or maybe someone to work with, so you feel safe and secure, that, that person you trust to work with. So yeah, I do see this opportunity. If you take it, it will take you far. And this could very well catapult you into your next big adventure. So if you're wondering why that certain thing hasn't happened for you yet, whatever that thing is, it's because there's something that needs your attention from your past that still is holding an energetic vibration in your field, not allowing you to attract in what it is you truly want yet. So there's definitely some deep diving that needs to happen for you over the next couple months. And Scorpio, I'm getting that Scorpio season. When we go into that season, I think you're going to have your aha moment, and then you're going to have that phoenix rising from the ashes, like a lot of deep understanding coming through and transformation. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to be over. I can see you possibly going through quite a full year of change, but I think you're going to feel some relief by Scorpio season, because you're going to feel like you know how to work with this a little bit easier. So Wow, super strong reading, Leos. It's definitely not, not what I expected. So let's see. How do I want to do this? I kind of want to leave these out for you a little bit. So I'll just place some cards on top, and we'll keep reading a little bit more, okay? So what is the roots of this, Spirit? And now we're going to go into the galactic energy a little more and see if we can suss out the root wound of where this is coming from so that you can have some help. Vega future, initiation and ceremony. So this definitely could be them preparing you for something. Wow, healing crisis and purging. Yeah, this definitely does feel like a healing crisis and purging. Present. So this is when Orion, when the star family Orion was going through a phase in their evolution and a level of consciousness in their evolution that is the same or similar to ours on Earth right now. And they went through a massive, basically once they realized what they were doing wrong, to basically what was happening is they were fighting against the powers that were ruling over them. So there was a resistance group constantly fighting back the powers that were trying to control the people of the Orion system. And they were basically, because they were fighting back, they were perpetuating war. They thought they were doing good for the people that needed protection under the government, but they were actually feeding the war energy and the polarity even more. And so the wars in Orion went on for thousands of years. And when they finally realized that they were part of the problem, they went through a massive purging and healing crisis before the healing began, which will be that Scorpio season for you. And before that next level, which will be the world for you, would finally start to shift into gear, shift into motion. This actually feels a lot like, oh, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Good. I was going to say, this feels like the Wheel of Fortune to me, not the world. So this is, I think, what you're experiencing is this purging. So once you realize what it is, that how are you perpetuating the challenge or the problem or the stuck area in your life? Once you realize what that is, then you're going to go through a sort of purging, healing crisis, and then be able to move on to your next level. But this has got to happen. So I do feel like it's leading you to this initiation and ceremony, Vega future. And I just want to look at that for you because I want to get clear. So here we go. The Black League patterning. They want me to read this to you. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about what Orion went through. The secret Orion society fighting the negative forces was called the Black League. They operated covertly and were a major force for inspiration and hope. So this is very similar to the Jedi Knights from Star Wars. You have had experience with this group, and this latent tendency of resisting authority or fighting for peace is a deep karmic pattern. Today, it is important that this polarity of us versus them be healed. Shift your focus away from light and dark scenarios. Begin to see reality in a unified way, with all the manifestations being an equal and valuable part of creation itself. Okay, so here we go. And this is because the Orions were part of the Vegans. So a lot of Vegans incarnated in Orion. So we need to keep reading. The Black League is a term referring to the resistance groups that formed during the darkest times in Orion. These groups were usually run by priests who practiced vegan mysticism, who were also warriors. These groups ultimately helped change the consciousness within the Orion system so it could transform, but not without struggle. They also had to learn the folly of living in polarity, which is what you do when you fight darkness. So even though the Black League and the Orion civilization as a whole eventually transcended polarity and healed itself, many beings who had lived lives there brought this polarized energy to Earth, and it's still playing out. So they're also incarnated here trying to play out that karma. On Earth, we can see it playing out through secret societies who believe they fight for freedom from tyranny, religious extremist groups who believe they are liberating people, and any group or person who views reality in a polarized way and fights against the side they label as negative. This only perpetuates polarity. If this card comes up in your reading, it usually comes up with the other Orion cards, and Vega would be another Orion card. It is most likely suggesting that you look at your view of reality and how you might see it in a polarized way, like opposites fighting each other. How can you integrate seemingly different aspects of yourself? It is encouraging you to begin to view reality as more of a unified field, and that there is a greater balance that perhaps you cannot see. It is asking you to totally transform your life from one of polarity to one of unity. So this is massive for you. I feel like this is going to be preparing you for this next card. Initiation and ceremony, but let's read about this. So early on in Vegan mysticism, initiation and ceremony played an important role in marking milestones in life or spiritual development. Yeah, so this is going to mark us. This is like going through a signpost. This deep healing purging process will be like you going through passing a major signpost of life. On Earth today, we've often lost touch with the meanings of our ceremonies, and so they feel empty when we do them. But honoring important experiences in life is crucial to feeling connected to the universe instead of just like pawns in a bigger picture. This card asks you to tap into this ancient memory and begin experiencing life's milestones, big or small, by celebrating them through a ceremony that expresses the sacredness of your lifetime here on Earth. Okay. So I like what it says here. If you received this card, it may mean that you need to implement awareness in the now consciousness because you have gotten too distracted and are sleepwalking through life. Or the card may be acknowledging you're already strongly devoted to sacredness. The card may also be reminding you of a past vegan life in which you mastered this ability. As you truthfully look at your life and where it is out of balance, you can shift nearly any challenge by allowing sacredness into every act. Slow down, breathe, focus on the moment instead of worrying about the future. With retraining, this simple ability can profoundly change your life. Whew, super powerful, what you guys are experiencing, but massive for your spiritual evolution. It's a fortunate place to be in, to be able to recognize what's out of balance so that you can shift it, recalibrate, realign, and then be more integrated as a result and living life with more of your consciousness on board, more of your true self as a living expression of your human life. So it's very deep, okay? So let's see what the Galactic deck says. This is from Dr. Lisa Thompson. Hybrid manifestation. Agarthan. So you got another community card. Let me just see what comes up here. What is this about for Leos? I feel like some of you are wanting to create a community, and it feels like you're almost in charge, and you're not understanding why people aren't following suit, like following the way you've set it up. Like, why isn't it working, kind of thing. And when we get hybrid cards, it's a call to look at many different perspectives. And this is what I was saying way at the beginning of your reading when you got that community card earlier. And it was, oops, we'll ignore that. I was going to try to get it for you, but that's not going to happen. So I feel like what I was saying was it's really important for you to listen to everyone's perspective. And if you want to hear that again, just go back to the beginning of the video when I had those cards out and you had the community card there and then the thinking woman. It was like you were trying to figure out, and that's what I feel here. There's a lot of thinking going on. You're trying to figure out how to birth something new, how to bring something into manifestation, but you have to consider everyone's perspectives, everyone's feelings and needs and wants, and it's a lot to be in charge. So I feel like this piece, once you've integrated it, will really help you to create what you want to create next. This wheel will turn with whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Once you've integrated this shadow side and brought it into balance, doesn't mean get rid of it. It often means expose it to your conscious mind by feeling it, by looking at it, even if it's in a new way and you've looked at it before, and by bringing love into the situation. Because I know you want this, but this wheel will not turn without more of your conscious energy, your harmonized, unconditional, integrated energy on board. And I feel like because in order to do this, a higher level of evolution is being asked of you and required of you, because you're working with a lot of new energy and a lot of different energies that could be potentially conflicting. You're going to need to be using more of your consciousness, more of your psychic gifts, more of your clairs, more, even if you're starting a psychic school, let's say, and you're going to have a lot of different students with a lot of different needs. How do you establish that? How do you flow with that? You've got to do your inner work first, is what they're saying, so that this goes more smoothly. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. There's something left that you need to integrate that's coming up at this time really strongly for you. So let's see what it is you need to surrender. That would probably help. What do Leos need to surrender at this time? What do Leos need to surrender at this time? Surrender resentment. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. So I'm feeling like so much tightness in my throat chakra since I started your reading. And this feels like root chakra energy. Remember there was all that question of finances? This is security. This is the root chakra. Safety, security, stability. Maybe you feel that you were, whoever were your caregivers, whether that was your parents or somebody else, the way they taught you or didn't teach you about safety and family and how to be part of a community, maybe. Whatever it was. This resentment energy, for instance, you're going to need to bring that integration and healing within yourself, because this had to do with family, and this community you're trying to create has to do with family dynamics. So in order for this to go well, this has to be seen, heard, and felt. So that's what that feels like to me. These lessons here that you've already experienced, maybe as wounds or challenges, for instance, the healing of these is going to help with this, because they're the same. It's the next evolution of your growth is here in this community. This wants to happen. Not without this integration of the past, healing of the past. So let's see, what can you ask yourself at this time? And I think these are upside down. I just want to check. Oh, they're all mixed, so I will not read this upside down. What can Leos ask themselves? Carrie, what is always mine? This is about allowing your true nature to be seen to yourself. What else, Spirit? And then also, I think this is releasing the burden of carrying other people's. When you're working with community, you'll feel that, like you need to carry other people's suffering or challenges. And so you've got to be able to detach so that you can safely and clearly navigate this group. You can't be pulled out into all their stuff emotionally all the time, right? Breathe. Do I accept myself without judgment? And glitter. What gift awaits? So here's the gem. There's the gem. What gift awaits? There's definitely something that's going to be had from going within for integration. This is very powerful. Okay, so what's this? Do I have here? Let's see. This is a pretty... So let's start to get into some guidance, some final words, and then we'll complete the reading for today. So happy birthday again, Leo. This sounds like a strong time for you, but I hope you're finding some time to celebrate and enjoy yourself and to feel like you can be yourself at times. When you're navigating through deep change, that can feel hard because you may not know what that is. But there's always a way. You know, there's always something in there that you can go, I'll celebrate like this. That'll help me feel good today or whatever. So how can we uplift Leos today? What can we share with them, Spirit? Signs, instincts are the message from the inner divine. So that would be listening to the higher self, the intuition. Following the signs at this time is really going to help you. And divine flow. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others. To follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. So kind of moving into the flow of the intuition, the divine feminine energy within you, watching for those deeper, more subtle signs. So what does Moonology say for Leos at this time? How to navigate this? What's the energy here, Spirit, astrologically, from the moon? Disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out, release the stress and anxiety. What else, Spirit? Something is crumbling away. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So this to me is eclipse season, which is October. So that's interesting because we're getting October again. We're getting fall. Conclusions in the fall. And then new moon eclipse, another eclipse card, expect powerful change. So that's awesome. That's amazing. This is like strong October energy for you where you finally feel like movement, change, clarity. That's Scorpio season, I believe, starts at the end of October through the beginning of November. So let's see. Actually, the eclipses start at the beginning of October. The first Saturday, I believe, of October. Or is it the last Saturday of September? I can't remember right now, but that area, that timeline, that's when we have the solar eclipse and then the lunar eclipse after that. So October, November, okay? That's super strong. Okay, so let's see self-care that you can do at this time. Self-care. For Leos, what would be the best for Leos for self-care? Hydrate, a 27. What else? Spending time with water to help you with flow. You can sit by water. And deep breathing. You got a lot of breathing. Maybe some yoga, pranayama classes. Helping you stay centered on the heart. Because this can be very distracting. It's like when the S hits the fan, or when you have those dark nights of the soul, or things are disseminating and don't look the same as you're used to. Stay connected to your body. That will really help you navigate. That will also help you see the signs more clearly and listen to your intuition more clearly. Stay connected to your body. And eat right and making sure you're hydrated. Okay, so what is the final guidance for Leos from their spirit guides at this time? And we have another strength card. We got this at the beginning. We have Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. We have breathe there. We have breathe there. We have breathe there. The power is in the breath is what I'm getting. Look at that beautiful fire that Leo fire she's got. And that's what you're wanting back. I know, but right now, it's not exactly about that. It's about you using your inner fire to transform your shadow. There's an alchemy happening for you here. So it's not about externally expressing your fire. It's about internally using it to alchemize the shadow within you. So what else for Leo at this time? What do their guides want to tell them? Charity, prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. Yeah, it feels to me like they are really cooling your fire. Go within, reflect. Take external focus and turn it inward. Practicing like a yogi or a monk or a sadhu. Internal in yoga, they always say 80% of your focus should be internal on the heart, and only 20% is external on your outer world. And that really puts it into perspective. So what do you want to say for Leo? Archangel Michael, trusting heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close, surrender your concerns, and again, allow a miracle to occur. And I know that when you're going through times of healing and great transformation deep within, there are so many angels and guides around you. So it is really important to trust and ask for help and trust that they will respond. And even ask for proof if you don't believe at first, so you can start to set up a trust loop with them. You ask for tangible proof, it shows up, you start to trust a little more. You ask again, so on and so forth. And you building a trust loop and building a bridge of communication to start to connect with your spirit guides and angels more frequently and start to really know that they're there for you. And it will profoundly change your life in so many ways. So my heart goes out to Leo during this birthday time. It is all for your spiritual evolution, and it's gorgeous, although it can be challenging. I know you can do this. You have that beautiful lioness strength deep within you, and as much as you can use it externally in your outer world, you can use it for yourself within at this time to make some really profound, great changes in your life and to move it more in alignment with where you want it to go next. Okay? So happy birthday again. Thank you for being here. Please pass this on to any Leos you know. And if you got anything out of this reading, please like to help it circulate and subscribe for more. If you need a private reading at this time, please visit my website, let'sevolvetogethertarot.com, and you can see all my offerings on there. And I will see you soon. Namaste. Many blessings.